Hey, welcome back, folks. Bong Joon-ho is back with a new film, Mickey 17, based off Edward Ashton's novel, Mickey 7, a dark satire which takes the concept of expendability to a pretty terrifying extreme, tackling issues of capitalism, political power, and identity in this dystopian future. So the question I had watching this movie and reviewing it is whether the satire comes off, how is the world building and the storytelling? So with that said, let's dive into this review and take a look at this movie. Set in a not so distant future, Mickey 17 follows Robert Pattinson's Mickey Barnes, an expendable employee on a mission to colonize the frozen wasteland of Niflheim. His job, well, it's to die basically over and over again. When one iteration of Mickey dies, a new one is printed, complete with most of his memories intact. But as Mickey racks up more deaths, he begins to question what it truly means to be human. It's a pretty stark and bleak premise, but I think the film balances that bleakness and starkness by injecting into the story this biting satire and sharp wit and humor, as well as engaging characters that gives an undercurrent of optimism and hope strangely within this world. I thought Robert Pattinson gave a transformative performance, really owning this character, especially in his American accent, which was completely different from his vocal performance in The Batman. In Mickey 17, his accent at times strangely reminded me of Tobey Maguire. It was that different. And he just portrays this character with a mix of dry wit, quiet rebellion, and existential exhaustion that I thought really worked. And watching this character just wrestle with his own disposability is both tragic and darkly comedic. I also thought Naomi Ackie was another standout. She plays Nasha Barridge, Mickey's love interest, and I just thought she provided an emotional anchor in this bleak world. But you discover that Nasha has been involved with all of Mickey's past iterations and copies, which for me just added a layer of existential horror to the relationship. The relationship is messy, but also, like I said, really provides an emotional anchor, which brought me into the story and the world. And then there's Mark Ruffalo, who plays Kenneth Marshall, this megalomaniacal politician leading this colonization mission on this alien planet. And his character was just a mix of populist leader, evangelical preacher, and corrupt CEO who was more focused on crafting an elaborate spectacle than actually leading. And his wife, Toni Collette, was equally chilling. She is just this manipulative force feeding his ego while exerting her own sinister influence. Mickey 17 isn't just about surviving an alien world, it's about surviving the systems that dehumanize us. There were a number of engaging themes in Mickey 17 which really stood out to me and made this film more than just a typical space opera adventure. For example, one of them was identity versus simulation, which is explored through Mickey's character who is continually struggling with his identity, asking who he is. Is he still even the same person after being copied and reprinted so many times? He treats his body as just a product, a disposable commodity, asking whether the physical body even matters anymore. And that's why those scenes he has with Nasha, particularly in their love scenes together, really hit home for me and were so emotionally impactful because the Nasha character reminds Mickey of the importance of the physical body, the importance of human emotion. And so that brought it home for me. That leads into another theme that stood out, the sociopolitical themes, where advanced space travel and human cloning exist in the future, but which have led to a low quality of life where society is more unequal than ever. The ultra rich hoard power, while the underclass, like Mickey, are treated as disposable. It's capitalism in its final, most horrifying form. Another theme is religion and ideology. Kenneth Marshall's leadership feels eerily familiar. He wraps his authoritarian rule in religious fervor, using evangelical rhetoric to manipulate the masses. The satire is sharpest here, which is both terrifying and darkly humorous. Like Avatar, one of the film's most powerful subversions is the way it plays around with this idea of alien invaders, right? The human colonizers here just view the native alien species of Niflheim as completely hostile. And by the way, the aliens in Mickey 17 are strongly reminiscent of the Omu, these giant insect like beings in Miyazaki's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. And like the Omu, the aliens here are more compassionate than the humans that seek to exterminate them. And so I really liked how the film just flipped our expectations to force us to question who the real monsters are here. To wrap up here, I think Mickey 17 is a smart, provocative, and visually stunning entry in the dystopian sci fi genre. I think it smartly blends Bong Joon-ho's signature social commentary with an engaging story about identity and resistance. If there was a drawback for me, I think it would be Mickey's constant internal monologue, which just wears thin at times and overstates things in a way that could have been shown more visually. And I would also say that about the satire at times, which mostly worked for me. But again, it overstates itself in a way that could have been shown to you in a more cinematic way instead of just telling you the satire. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think I would give Mickey 17 3.5 out of 5 stars. I would recommend the film. Let me know if you're going to see Mickey 17 or if you've already seen it. Please share your insights and comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time here.